Oh, let's do a video before I go insane.
German, SL. German B, SL specifically. The thing about it is that the IB program actually does somewhat good in these type of thing. Uh, in stark contrast to the A programs, the English A, German A, Spanish A, whatever A, some language A, SRHL, you are not focused on the literary part. You are a lot more focused on simply language acquisition. And that's actually the really nice part. Because of the fact that it is simply language acquisition a lot of the time, say for German B, SL, and HL, what ends up happening is that a lot of time you could have teacher that could be a lot more relaxed. And this was my case. I thankfully actually have an extremely competent teacher. And another good part of the IB is the fact that some classes could have very little people, as little as just you and the teacher, which sometimes can be very awkward. However, the important part is that it's like private tutoring at that point, so you can just shoot the crap with the teacher and actually get a lot of very important values out of it, because the teachers at that point see you as a lot more grown up, someone that they can actually share info with. And so that's the wonderful thing of German B. You actually focus a lot more on language acquisition, and more or less the best way to do that is just talking. It's simply talking, writing, and listening to stuff within that language. There's not really a lot better way to simply do language acquisition because of, well, how the brain works really. It's not really fun just sitting there looking at vocabularies for the next 4 hours of your entire day just to try to acquire a language. It's a lot more fun trying to actually get out and discuss something with your friends. It's like talking with friends. When you really think of it from a far perspective, it's quite boring because you don't really know what to talk about. But when you genuinely get into the groove of thing, boom, you're just able to do it. So that's what language acquisition of the language B class is like. My experience is with German BHL. A lot of time, yes, they will ask you to write essays and stuff, but I'll tell you basically this: you go through a journey of language acquisition, and it's very, very wonderful. So more or less the tips that I'm going to give you is not how to survive the class, it's more or less how to survive language acquisition as a whole. The thing about acquiring a language is that it's going to be hard. Okay, I won't deny that one bit. It's going to be hard. A lot of it has a lot of history. A lot of the language has similarities to say that of English. Some of it does not. It has weird rules. Sometimes you learn one thing in class, but in real life applications and another whole thing. Simply put, it's wrong, it's weird, and it's going to be a hard journey. But more or less, the wonderful thing about language acquisition as well is that thanks to our wonderful brain of having neuroplasticity at a very young age, we can a lot of times watch YouTube videos. That is my biggest recommendation to acquiring any language. Watch YouTube videos, watch things that you enjoy. It's like reading a book, right? Why should you read books that you don't enjoy? No, genuinely, ask yourself that. Why the hell should you read books that you don't enjoy? Read the ones that you actually like, right? A lot of people go onto YouTube and read the comments for hours on end. That's reading, and they love doing that. Some people go on Twitter and read all the bad posts that makes them extremely angry, but you're still reading. A lot of people read stories on Reddit. They still do that. A lot of them could be extremely eloquent language, very well formulated. You still read through that, and it's wonderful, it's fun. Why? Because you read something that you like. So why not actually find a book that you also genuinely like? And this is what I do a lot of time in language acquisition. I look for the things that I like, but in that language, simply put. If, say, your German skill isn't the best of the best, let's say you're in Ab Initio class, right, the much more beginners class, which I do not have a lot of experience with, I simply then would also implore you to watch content that you understand. It translates very well. If you say, I don't know, you know a lot about a certain topic, say basketball or something, when you switch the commentary, right? Let's say, I don't know, you're hearing English commentary a lot of the time on these basketball games, but you know what's happening in that game, right? And then you switch it to German commentary, you're gonna still a lot of time get a lot of things, even though you don't completely understand what the hell they're talking about, because you have multiple way feedback. You have feedback already from a video that you watched beforehand that's in the English language. You have the thing right in front of you that's actually happening. So when you combine them together, it gives context to what the announcer is saying. So more or less in your road of language acquisition, I would simply implore you to throw yourself in the fire, just talk anything, right? Just talk. People a lot of time are not going to laugh at you since, well, first of all, a lot of time when they see you, they will immediately not guess that you know how to speak German, nor do you come from Germany. So they immediately have a low expectation of, oh, you might not know how to speak German super duper well. And a lot of time people are understandable, right? Unless they already have pre-prejudice of you, prejudice already, not pre-prejudice, that would be wrong word. If they already have prejudice of you, but that's a different story. A lot of time people are quite understanding. They know, oh, you're not going to be the best of the best with the language. You could be a foreigner, you could be a person who just came here for a holiday and actually trying to speak up with the language. They're going to help you. They're simply going to be very understanding and say, oh, okay. A lot of time they might even fix your grammar a tiny bit and you can thank them. That's it. Believe me, dude. Believe me. Thanking people goes a very long way just because they know their efforts are appreciated. Surprisingly enough. Don't be shy to talk to people. Just don't be an absolute dick about it a lot of the time. Which, believe me, most people can be, very much can do that, okay? They can very much not be a dick. So, simply put, it's actually quite simple. Just go out and talk to people. The only thing that's holding you back is your expectation, your very skewed expectation of the entire world. People are not going to judge you for it. They already kind of know, oh, your skill in German's not going to be the best. And if it is really good, you talk to them and you can very much do that. Well, then you just surprise people. What's wrong with that? What's bad in that? Simply put, just go up to people and talk to them. It's really is not that bad. Go up, talk to them. Hell, even write some emails. And especially, enjoy the language. Don't simply just think, oh no, I have to learn this language. It's your language acquisition. It's IB. You should more or less somewhat like taking the language a little bit. It will help you in that process of language acquisition that much better, dude. Okay? Simply put, language acquisition, take your time with the language B class. It's very much not stressful. If the teacher's incompetent, even then, that just means you have a free class. But if the teacher actually understands that, oh, this class is not truly something that is extremely serious, and a lot of time it's more talking and simply just shooting the crap with the student, then yeah, you can very much have a very extremely competent teacher that you simply need to speak in that language. And the teacher can fix your grammar concurrently as you speak. So, I don't know about you, language B class actually sounds wonderful. So, that's more or less how I would survive it.